show.
No rules! That's what I'm talking about.
Dogs on the Run begins now.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to season number 2 of Dogs on the Run. Andre Knott is here. I'm Andy Baskin. We're going to be joined by our third amigo, which will be Tim Couch, former Browns quarterback. He'll join us in just a few moments, so we'll get a chance to talk to him. The Browns losing yesterday. It was an exciting second half. It was an abysmal first half. It wasn't even worth watching.
Abysmal is the word that I would definitely use, and it's no way in the world you can come out in the NFL opener and come out asleep at the wheel. And that's what they did yesterday, but I'll tell them, I'll give you credit, give them credit. The way they came back in the second half made it something that makes you look forward to next week's game against the Saints. But you can't do that in the NFL. You got to play 60 minutes. It can't be a 30-minute thing.
All right, so we want to make sure that you're interactive on this show. We want you to Skype in at Dogs on the Run, and we want you to call in at 216-431-3820. And if you really want to, what you should do is you want to fire it up on your mobile app, and then you take the show in the car with you on the way to work. So then you Bluetooth it that way, or you can plug into your car and do it that way too. All right, let's just do it right away, and we're going to bring in our analyst this year and a guy that every Browns fans knows, and that is Mr. Tim Couch, former quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, and does a great job of SEC right now. Let's get the fans out and just say, hey, welcome to the show. So the fans are out. Tim, how are you doing today?
Great.
So, all right, what did you think of the game yesterday? Just your thoughts on what the Browns were able to do.
Well, just like you guys, the first half was tough to watch. It really was. It was they couldn't do anything. They couldn't rush the passer. They couldn't get anything going offensively. It seemed like there were no playmakers on the field. But then they come out in the second half, and it's like a different team. And the offense starts using a lot of tempo. Had Pittsburgh back on their heels. Pittsburgh didn't really know how to react to that offensively, and Brian Hoyer caught fire. The receivers started getting open, giving him someone to throw to. And then the two rookie running backs, I thought they really jumped out to me. They were impressive. Isaiah Crowell, Terrence West, those guys started running the football, and they became balanced offensively. And, then defensively, they started getting after Ben. In the third quarter alone, they had 3 sacks on him. And, it seemed like in the first half he was just standing back there, and Antonio Brown was running wide open down the field every time that they dropped back to pass. But, they completely changed up their game plan in the second half, and it worked, and they almost pulled out a victory on the road.
Tim, from a quarterback perspective, talk about going to the hurry-up offense and how you saw that change the game, and why does that work better for Brian Hoyer in a situation like that yesterday?
Sometimes when the game is, it's just not going your way offensively and things are slow and you can't seem to get any momentum going, sometimes just changing up the pace of the offense, it will just kind of ignite the offense, kind of spark the offense. It gets you in a different mindset of kind of a hurry-up, 2-minute mode where you have a little bit more sense of urgency. And sometimes that's all it takes. It really does. And, I was even sitting home watching the game thinking, because there didn't seem to be any playmakers on the field, I thought maybe that they may turn to Johnny in the second half just to let him run around and try to make a play and spark some energy. But, credit to Mike Pettin and his staff for sticking with Brian Hoyer and that offense and believing that they could turn it around just by going tempo. And boy, they did it. And they looked like a really good football team on both sides of the ball in the second half. And, Brian made some unbelievable throws. The touchdown pass in the back of the end zone when he was rolling left and had to flip his hips around, and he just threw a strike. I think it was Benjamin that caught the ball in the back of the end zone. It was an unbelievable play, and a lot to build on going into next week for them offensively.
Hey, Tim, no way they can run that offense all season. Brian said after the game yesterday, the offensive line will lose 20 pounds. I mean, it was exciting to watch, but you can't bank on that every week.
No, it's not something you can bank on week to week. I think, like I said earlier, just something you can kind of switch up during a certain game, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But, they're going to have to become more consistent offensively and, come out of the gates the way they did in the second half. They're just going to have to fight. It's obviously tough without Josh being out there at the wide receiver position. You're going to have to get creative in some things you do and some of the routes you run and the timing of the pass plays that you call. But, I thought there was a lot to build on with those running backs. Ben Tate looked great before he got hurt. I thought he was moving well. He was running well. He runs hard. But these rookies, I think, really, brought an added dimension to this offense. They look quick. Terrence West looked like he was no one wanted to tackle him when he got in the secondary. He's a big guy. And, so there is some stuff to build on. But you're right. I don't think that this is something they can do week to week and count on it to work the way it did in the second half against Pittsburgh.
Tim, you talk about the 2 rookie running backs, and you're right. They were unbelievable. It seemed like they were comfortable from the get-go. Where Justin Gilbert kind of went through a different phase on his first day out in the field. But it's 2 different positions. Running back, you get the ball, you read, react. Where Justin Gilbert and the defense that they play with Mike Pettin, they're asking those cornerbacks to do a lot. And it seemed like he was thinking and not playing yesterday.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And, he's going to see a ton of action on that side of the field opposite Joe Hayden. And, the Browns were playing a ton of man coverage, in the first half. If you watch watching the game, I was, watching pre-snap trying to guess the cover. Sometimes it's hard to see on TV because it's a tighter shot. You can't see the safeties and things. But they were walked up in the face of these wide receivers for Pittsburgh. And, they weren't getting any pass rush in the first half either. That didn't help Justin at all. And Joe got burned a couple times as well, just because you can't cover these guys, Antonio Brown and those type of receivers that they have at Pittsburgh for 5-6 seconds. And Ben is unbelievable at what he does and extending plays. So that makes it tough on a rookie. And a veteran like Ben and some of the guys they have at the skill position in Pittsburgh, they're going to take advantage of a rookie corner. And they're going to go after him and they're going to see what they can do. And they did. That's his life as a rookie cornerback in the NFL. But I think that Justin has a ton of talent. He just can't get down on himself. These defensive backs have to have short memories, and he's going to be a good player, but he does have to realize that he's going to be a target week in and week out.
All right, hey Tim, looking forward. We're going to talk to you in a half hour. And when we come back in a half hour, I want to ask you what's your favorite piece of memorabilia behind you. I love what you have going on back there. Those footballs and the helmets. Cool. That's awesome.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, we'll see you in a half hour. Tim Couch is our third analyst, or is our analyst on the show, and our third amigo on the show, too. So you're no longer the third amigo.
I moved up to number 2.
Tim is now the third amigo on this show. So, and if you have questions for Tim, too, we'll ask him. You can send them to us on Twitter. You can do it at Andy_Baskin, or are you checking email? Or
yeah,
Twitter
I'm checking Twitter as well.
So
yes.
Dre Knott, too.
Yes, go to
so you
Dre
can do
Knott.
that. I also want to bring in Eric, the referee, if Eric's over there. Yes, there's Eric.
I thought
Eric,
he was going to sell me shoes or something.
He used to sell shoes at one point.
Is that where that
shirt
came from?
Eric, what do we have on the show today? Because we never have pre-show meetings. We're not organized enough to do that. What do we have?
We actually, this is the most organized we've been, I think. Season 2, we're starting off strong.
Oh, good.
We got the Bone Lady coming up at 7:30. I'm excited about that. We're going to go to her bedroom. Obviously, there's going to be that mystic haze there that I like to see. We got
button for that.
We got Matt Lodi from the Steelers. I'm not looking forward to hearing from him.
What do you
but
need to hear from a Steelers guy?
Seriously, I know.
What do you need to hear from him for?
That they choked and they got lucky.
They didn't choke. They won.
No, they backed off. I'm
sorry. Yeah, that's.
Well, let's take some phone calls. We got a couple guys on the line ready to talk.
All right, let's go to. I hope I don't mess this up the way I used to last year. We're going to go to Ed and Copley first. Hi, Ed. How are you?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Good. What'd you think of the game yesterday, Ed?
Well, it was typical Steelers ball for the first half, but the second half kind of surprised me.
All right, so are you optimistic moving forward, or are you pessimistic?
I'm actually pessimistic because, no offense, the defense for Pittsburgh is usually a little bit better. That's usually how we carry the game, and I'm a little scared.
All right, Ed, thank you very much. Appreciate it. We're going to find out. I think the beauty of the schedule this year is that you play Pittsburgh a month from now.
Yeah.
And so you're going to find out exactly what this first game was all about. Were they flat in the beginning and they just couldn't get moving, and then all of a sudden they figured themselves out?
I don't like that you play them twice in 6 weeks, but you're right. In a month and a half or so, you will learn a lot about who the Browns are and who the Steelers are. I think the first week, if you go through all the games that were played yesterday, and I know we're talking about the Browns, I don't think you really know a lot about a lot of these teams. I think preseason is such a joke. It really is, that a lot of these teams are just finding their identity at 1 o'clock on Sunday in week 1, And I think the Steelers, when they look back on this, and they've got a quick turnaround because they play Baltimore on Thursday, they're going to love what they did for the first 30 minutes, and they're going to say for 15 minutes, what in the world were we doing? I don't think their defense is as strong as it usually is. I think their running game is going to be unbelievable if they run the football. And if that Wheaton kid plays as good as he did against us, that offense is going to score a lot of points. But defensively, that's not the Steelers. Troy Polamalu looked like he was as fast as me. When I went back and watched him the game last night, he's not the athlete that he's been in the past, and that's going to hurt them. Shamarko Thomas, their other safety that they have that's kind of coming up after Polamalu, he got hurt yesterday with an injury. So I think the Steelers defensively, they're going to have problems throughout the season and probably going to have to win a lot of shootouts.
Well, I'll even bring this point into it. I didn't think the Steelers' offensive line looked good at all yesterday. I think Ben saved them probably 10 times in that game.
Yeah, but that's what Ben does.
I know.
And you're right. The offensive line, pass blocking wise, was not good for them. But I will say this, the run game that they had, they pushed the Browns defensive front around in the run game for most of the game. Bell, Cheech and Chong Jr., he did whatever he wanted to do yesterday. And I think from the Browns side, they may have found an identity speeding it up a little bit, and getting both of those running backs to the outside. That was fun to watch.
The other thing about Le'Veon Bell, too, is that he looks healthy.
Yes.
You know, last year he was hurt.
Right.
And
Yeah,
now,
that's true.
And he looked a lot better yesterday than he did. He looked more like the Michigan State guy than he did for season number 1
And
in
a
the
lot
NFL.
of people don't realize he's an Ohio kid. He's a kid that got away from Ohio State, went to Michigan State because he was under-recruited by Ohio State, and now look at him. He's the lead back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I really do think the Browns may have found an identity yesterday more than anything else, Andy. The one thing I remember tweeting this during the first half of the game, they have to run the football for the pass game to work, especially without Jordan Cameron, especially without Josh Gordon. When they were able to run the football, it changed everything with the play action, getting Brian Hoyer out. So it tells you if they can't run the football, they're not going to be able to pass the football the way that they did in that second half yesterday.
All right, again, to get a hold of us, and we're going to go to the phone lines here in a couple minutes, 216-431-3820 or on Skype, Dogs on the Run. Skype, Dogs on the Run, DAWGS on the Run. And again, you can call us at 216-431-3820. But the show is unbelievably interactive. We want to know what you think of what happened to the Browns yesterday. We'll look forward, or anything Browns. We'll talk to you about anything. There are no rules on this show. In fact, let's go back to the newsroom right now. I want to check in with Chris Horn. I don't have a button for Chris, Eric, so let's go back to Chris. Hey, Chris, how are you?
Gentlemen, how are you?
Good. What's going on in the newsroom today?
How you liking Isaiah Crowell there?
Loving him.
Yeah,
Ton of
As a
talent.
native of the state of Georgia, I just want to say you're welcome. He's
thank you.
former Georgia Bulldog. So
You weren't too nice to him the last 3 years when he wasn't at the University of Georgia.
well, he got in a little bit of trouble. Had to straighten himself out, prepare his way for Cleveland. He had to understand what adversity was like if he was going to be a Brown, right?
That's true, but you know how much money that cost him?
Yes.
If you think about it?
Millions.
Oh, yeah.
Millions.
You didn't tell me that
Can't
guy
imagine.
wasn't at least the second or third round pick?
He's the second. You know, we last night on the show in the Sports Sunday, we talked about who does he remind us of.
Right.
You know who he reminded me of yesterday, Chris? What Trent Richardson was supposed to look like in the NFL.
Exactly.
Seriously, he's
Yeah,
got the same body build, same hair, but he was able to explode through the holes where Trent Richardson, I don't know if he got beat up too much at Alabama, he doesn't have that same explosion that you see from
Yeah.
Crowell.
Yeah.
All right, so what are they talking about on social media today?
The kick, the Karate Kid crane kick to Spencer Lanning's face.
All right, we got a couple pictures of that, I think.
Have you seen? Did you see that?
Yeah, we all
Happened to-
saw it. I mean, hey, Spencer Lanning, it's a kicker. You don't mess. First of all, you don't mess with
There
Spencer
you go.
Lanning, and two, he wears the number 5, so we absolutely love him on the show.
He's got a great sense of humor about it. Did you see his tweets
Yes.
about that?
Tell us about it.
He posted the picture and he said, wait, when did that happen? Which I thought was a nice way to say, hey, I'm okay. And I've got a sense of humor about this. Antonio Brown also tweeted about the infamous kick. And apparently there's a hashtag for it. It's hashtag AB Dropkick. Antonio Brown said, I see the internet having fun with hashtag AB Dropkick, but I want to clarify, I was not trying to hurt Lanning Spencer. So, he says he wasn't trying to hurt anybody. Apparently, he caught a little bit of flack. But he says, I'm glad he's okay. Now they're focused on Baltimore.
So they play him on Thursday. What are you asking, and how are you interacting? Is it on our Facebook page, our website?
Yeah.
What are we doing there?
Oh, we had 256 comments on our Facebook post about the kick. There's an endless stream of tweets about it. There were some funny ones too, and again, since he's okay, it's funny. We had one Sawyer Stick, funniest picture I've seen all day. Someone photoshopped a scene out of the movie 300, where Leonidas kicks the dude into the pit, and they put Antonio Brown and Lanning Spencer there. And someone else asked, "What's the Antonio Brown dropkick button on Madden?"
Yeah.
Ah,
we
that's
do
a
need
good one.
that. Well, I
So
think
you
it's the
get some
triangle
game
button,
tips
but-
here too.
All right, anybody in the newsroom being a loudmouth this morning as you look around?
It's a little quiet. Faith is here next to me, but she's still asleep. I think, not used to getting up before 10.
Okay, and what
So,
about, is James
yeah.
sitting next to you? We might make James a character on the show this year. Is James over there?
James is, but I think he's on the phone with Sears, which
Oh,
he can
but
explain to you later.
He's trying to buy some new clothes or something, or?
Yeah.
He's getting a new
He's getting a new
haircut.
haircut. He's,
He needs some new
he
Craftsman
wants a
tools.
refund
All right.
for the last
Right.
haircut.
All right, Chris, we'll talk to you later. Thank you. We'll check back in with you. Again, social media, you want to go to the WEWS Facebook page or
Hashtag
follow us
dogs on the run.
Hashtag dogs on the run for Twitter. Thank you,
Thanks, gents.
Chris. Nice job. Well done. I think if I was flying a plane, I would let him talk me down.
I'm still new on him.
He's got the headset.
He does have the headset. He does the kick. This is what I didn't get. He was trying. I mean, we had people in Cleveland really saying he should be thrown out of the game. I'll be honest with you, people aren't going to like this. I don't even know why he got a 15-yard penalty. He was running. And he thought he should have just ran it outside. He would have scored a touchdown.
You know why he should have got a 15-yard penalty? For stupidity.
Okay.
Because he had an open lane to the end zone.
I'll give you that. But he didn't try to. He didn't, in his mind, and I don't think people realize this, but with slow motion, and we play things back 15 million times.
Like
then
now.
Then with Twitter, and then with everything else, people are going, that was terrible. He kicked him, cheating Steeler. When Peyton Hillis was jumping over guys and almost happened,
it was the greatest thing ever.
We were high-fiving it. We loved it. It was a terrible decision by Antonio Brown, and he's lucky he didn't get hurt. If anything, he helped us by kicking Spencer Lanning. Sorry, Spencer. But it did help us. Otherwise, he scores a touchdown.
All right, Kenny Rhoda is going to join us here in a second. We're going to talk to Kenny, and he'll give us his insight on yesterday's game. I'm going to go to the phone lines real quick. Shelly in Garfield Heights. Hi, Shelly. How are you? Thanks for hanging on.
Oh, so far, so good.
Everything's good. You're okay? You're calm this morning? I'm a little worried about you.
No. I watched the game, and I was, disappointed at the end, but what are you going to do? They at least came back like the cardiac kids back in the day.
That's true.
So, anyway, what I'm calling about has nothing to do with the game, but it will have to do with the first home game. Because I went to the last preseason game, and I don't think anybody noticed. I walked around telling different people at the clubhouse and whatever. Nobody could care less. And I called the Browns Association, and some girl goes, oh, there's nothing we can do about it.
Well, what's the problem?
The beer sellers. Okay, this is a brand new stadium. I've never been in it. Brand new everything, and it's gorgeous. And you got everything orange, brown, everything's Browns. And then you got these guys selling beer in Steelers colors.
What color are they wearing? Yellow or black, or what's
bright yellow shirts and black pants.
Well, I think that's for them to stand out. And I don't think it's on the Browns. I think that's their own company that kind of dresses themselves.
Yeah, that's what they said. But I says, couldn't they pick like a different neon color shirt for them or a different color pants?
Did the beer taste cold still?
Was the beer any good? That's the first question.
What?
Was the beer good?
Yeah, but that's probably why nobody really cared if they were in Steelers colors because they were drinking beers.
Exactly.
Shelly, on a list of...
looked weird. If you looked around the stadium, what I'm saying, everything was Browns, and then you got these guys in these yellow shirts and black pants popping out, and you could see them everywhere, and it was like, it just was, I don't know.
But Shelly, isn't that the point, so they can pop out so you can get that beer as fast as possible?
Yeah, but have it in neon orange or neon any other color than yellow.
Well, for the section you sit in, I'll try to give them a shirt just for you.
Shelly, I want you to think about this, and I want you to call in next week. I want you to write down 10 things that are more important in your life than worrying about the color of the beer vendor. Okay, start with world peace first. That's my recommendation for you. How's that sound?